So as we move on to our last partnership, Naazim Adam from Impala Crescent Primary School in Lenasia, and Fatima Danchora from Nedbank. You had the, I think our mic, is our mic still on? Lovely. And there's also some beautiful music from somewhere. That's how Naazim and Fatima do it. And that's the reference to Shining Eyes, because their partnership is exactly about that. It's about what it means to create an environment where we can have more shining eyes. Over to you, as we hear about your story of how you do that.
Thank you very much. Thank you everybody for gracing us with your presence, and being the last lot, we're not going to hold you here all night, although we're known to talk a lot. So a little bit about our school. Impala Primary School, or Impala Crescent Primary, is situated in Lenasia. If you don't know where Lenasia is, we invite you to come and visit us. We're down south, a stone throw away from Soweto. And my first visit into Soweto, coincidentally, was all the COP visits that we did. I was too scared to go, and I have a different perspective to it. Our school, although situated in Lenasia, which was a largely Indian community, now has 83% African children, and they come in bused every day with school transport or other various types of transport facilities from neighboring townships, Tembelihle, Lehigh, Soweto, Protea, Glen. So our kids come from homes that are of low income and poor working class. So some of the challenges we faced is clearly school funds, raising school fees, the infrastructure of the school to support the kids in terms of their sporting facilities, not having the computer facilities for them to do digital learning, for the teachers, not too much of infrastructure to support smart learning, and then our school has a feeding scheme. And when we talk about doing things from a community perspective, it's quite heartwarming. From a business perspective, we have corporate social investment, and we think, oh, we're doing so good by giving some money somewhere. In these kind of schools where the kids come to school for the sole meal they get, and being a quintile 5 school means the department doesn't give us a lot of subsidy. When our feeding scheme is threatened, it is the very teachers in that school who dig deep into their pockets and buy what's needed to feed these children. So that's just some of our challenges. I'll now hand over to Naazim to share with you some of the things we've progressed on as well. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. They kept us so late, it's already dark, so we won't keep you too long.
Oh, no, we go up. How do we go up on this thing?
I don't know how you go up, okay. All right, so how did I get onto this program? I think for me it was somewhere on social media that I entered, and I put my name down, and I didn't hear from PFP for about a year, maybe longer, and then out of the blue I got the call, and next thing we know, the ball started rolling. And if you ask me,
sorry.
why would I want to be part of?
Now we're going to play our music all over again.
Why I would want to be part of Partners for Possibility, and it's very simple. We in a no man's land as a school that is in a former Indian area, quintile 5. People don't tend to see the need to support schools like ours with donations, funding, and so forth. And I saw an opportunity to say, I'll get something out of this for the school. And I'll be honest, that's what I saw. I saw perhaps we can get some donations, some business or corporate funding, some resources for the school. Little did I know that we're going to get a whole lot more, and that as an individual I would grow as much as I did. Just to run through some of the stuff, well, we did get the computers, so there were 20 computers, refurbished desktops that came from Nedbank, which has made an amazing difference to our motivation amongst the staff, our library, our administration at the school. We've also invested a lot this year in our teachers. So we've redone the staff room, upgraded it so that they have a place to sit. We can't subsidize our teachers, but we can create an environment where they are happy. And this is coming from our discussions and listening to teachers, and not in a patronizing way, but actually listening to what their experiences are, and even being alert to what is happening around. So I would have teachers there till 5, 6 in the afternoon, and they were working in their little classrooms, and now they have an environment where they can function better. More than that, I think we've had some amazing sessions. So we've had planning sessions with the school governing body, with the staff. Fatima has been a driver in many ways. So because of the pressures and the demands and the firefighting that we do in school, Fatima was able to follow up with things like Lacto SA, where we're looking at the Lab Online learning program, and she's been in touch with them. So she's been able to do some of the legwork, which is our other vision, is that by 2020, we want all our teachers to be running their classrooms and their teaching online. We want a blended classroom environment by 2020. It's all incremental. The development, the change, it's not going to happen overnight, and I think we've learned that through this process of listening, consulting, and bringing everyone on board.
Okay, so some of our challenges and what are we planning to do together. So that little picture you see in the middle, Naazim's not been a principal for 17 years for no reason. His artistic creativity from the kids come out as well. Everything evolves around the community. We need to get our community involved, we need to get our parents involved, we need to be able to actively work together to make this successful. A big concern for us is obviously the reading capacity of our kids. And you can't do that on your own. We need to have supportive teachers, we need to have parents that are enabled to facilitate that kind of functionality. And then obviously with our Lab Online and Lacto SA relationship, we hope to help the kids being able to do their reading in a more digital fashion as well.
Okay, I think we're going on to the next one, which is, I'm just going to jump. How do we do this?
Okay, go.
So what have I learned from the program? Well, although we're all public schools, in a sense, we serve a poorer community. I was deeply humbled by my visits to Leah's school, to Tembisa, because I realized that we are far more privileged in so many ways. In terms of the teaching staff that we have, the camaraderie, the little bit of resources, there are a lot more than they have. So that's the first thing I learned, so to be grateful and appreciative of that. The second is that, personally, I've learned to be a better listener, but my wife wants to know, was I really on the score? She doesn't believe me. More patient, and the most important is that I'm not taking everything onto my shoulders. I've learned to let other people lead and run with things and own their spaces. And I think that's been an important part of my journey for 2018. The consultation can get tedious, listening to everyone talk. You must go around the room, do rounds and whatever. And it's not easy from someone with ADD, you know. So eventually we get around, and it's listening to other voices that has actually deepened our planning and allowed us to do the changes and the mammoth changes that we've done in the school over the last year.
And then just finally from me, in terms of what my learnings are that I take away, and strangely enough, they all come together quite nicely. From the program, I've learned that you have to be financially, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally fit. You have to go into each of your COP sessions, into each of the visits, being present. Otherwise, you're not only doing yourself a disservice, but your group a disservice. From my partner, I've learned gratitude. I've learned humility. I have not learned how to balance my life yet, and I'm very much in awe of how Naazim does all of that. I've learned about reflection and acceptance, and the last bits that have come together for me around myself is, as my little picture says there, let yourself be silently drawn to the to the things that are in your gut feel. I always thought I was not the most intuitive person, but this is where I've gravitated to. This is my purpose, this is my passion, this is what I enjoy most, the networking, the making things happen, and just networking with people and getting my hands dirty, being able to make change. The training that I really enjoyed was the time to think, but the thing that stands out for me most was from the community workshop, which basically taught me about what are the things I keep saying no to, what are the things I keep saying yes to, what are the things I should be saying yes to, and what are the things I should be saying no to. And then in final conclusion, we'd like to express our appreciation to every single person here for the time that you've invested in sitting here and listening to us, to Nomfuza for the wonderful facilitation sessions you've taken us through, to my COP. You've just allowed us a presence to just feel welcome all the time and say how I feel. And to Naazim for the wonderful opportunity that this course has given me. Oh, and I can't forget my ex-boss Chris, he's the person who paid for me to come onto this course, and for Naazim. So thank you very much, we really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I have just one last thing to do, and I'm going to ask the following people to please stand up. So it's Fatima, Nomfuzo, Rina, Leona, Shashika, Logeshni, Charmaine, Madeleine. No. I want to say that I learned that it is 10 times harder being a woman in the workplace, listening to what you endure. And I'm in awe of it. Thank you very much.